Welcome to Left Off the Map, and today it's Taco Tuesday again. And before we head inside and get into some Mexican food, I thought we would start out here in my garden and do a little bit of smoking. So this is a Ozpig smoker. It's fantastic. You can cold smoke with it and hot smoke with it. And we're gonna hot smoke today. So we're basically cooking like you normally would in an oven, but trying to get some smoke in there as well. So the heat that's in the belly of the pig will heat up the chamber of the smoker and the smoke will permeate through. So if you have a bit of a look inside, that's the setup that you've got. You've got these trays which you can put things on, and that heat will sort of rotate through, the smoke will rotate through. You've got your temperature gauge up here to keep a bit of an eye on the temperature. So like I said, spare ribs, nice high fat content. We're gonna cook them and smoke them at the same time. I've made a little sort of a char siu basting marinade to go with it. I've already given it one baste and let it sit. So in here I've got ketchup mayonnaise, a little bit of acid. How you get that is completely up to you. I've just used some rice vinegar, brown sugar, chilies, garlic, and then you can add Chinese 5 spice if you wanted to, some cumin, some coriander, fennel seed, whatever your sort of favorite spices are. But you just get a nice little baste or a marinade, and as it cooks through, you could leave it in there for 3, 4, 5 hours and it will be sort of fall apart tender, or it's going to be done in half an hour and ready to eat. So it's completely up to, depending on which way you want to eat your spare ribs. So I'll give these another go. Give that a baste, and they're pretty much ready to go in. So now I've got my heat, I've got my smoke inside the Ozpig. I can close the door up. And now the lump charcoal that's in there, or the charcoal that we've set, will just keep sort of permeating and radiating heat and smoke through our chamber. Get these in. You don't want to rack them too close together because you want the smoke to be able to move around the ribs. So don't overload it. So I'll put 3 on one and 2 on the other rack. And then I can just take those racks out, give it another baste, or I can baste it in there. You want to baste about, depends on how long you're cooking it for. So we'll close that up. Depends on how long you're cooking it for, but if you're cooking it for 4 or 5 hours, then baste it every half an hour. If you are only planning on cooking it for half an hour, 45 minutes, then baste every 10 minutes, so you get more opportunity to get that flavour in there. So we'll have a look at what we've got so far. So they're starting to get that purpley colour, that dark colour that we're going to get because of the ketchup mayonnaise and because of the brown sugar, which is good. So you can see 10 minutes in, we're starting to get a good dark colour. So we'll give it another hit. That one can go back in. The other one out. Do the same thing, give them another baste. And like I said, I'll go through this process 3 to 4 times while we're cooking. If you were cooking for 3, 4, 5 hours, you're probably going to end up doing it about 8 times. So you're going to need a good amount of basting or the marinade to get the most out of it. And you're going to do it about every half an hour rather than every 10 minutes. Pop that back in. We'll check on these again in 10 minutes time. And then if you want a little bit more smoke or a little bit less smoke, depending on how you're going, if you close that little hatch up, that'll keep more of the smoke in there and you get more of that smoky flavour. So you can make that decision as you go. If you're cooking for a longer period of time, you get a lot more play with that. But for a short period of time, for a short cook, probably leave it closed for the whole period so you do get the absolute most you can out of that So we'll come back, as I said, we'll give that another 10 minutes, give it another baste back in, and then we've probably only got 1 or 2 more bastes and it should be ready to go. That's our sticky pork ribs done in the Ozpig smoker on top of the Ozpig. Now Henry's going to head off now and catch up with a fantastically brilliant, interesting lady named Kirsha Keichel. That Mona, which is down in Hobart, it's about 3 hours drive from where we are here. She's going to talk about a program they've got called 24 Carat Garden. When we come back from that, we'll get into some Mexican food.
Today I'm really excited to be meeting Kirsha from 24 Carat Garden. She's done some amazing things in the food industry. She's actually written a book called Eat the Problem, which is all about eating invasive species, and I can't wait to learn all about it. G'day Kirsha.
Hello.
Can I come in?
Yes, come on in.
What a beautiful garden you've got here.
Thank you.
Amazing. It's, is this yours?
Yes, this is mine.
Oh my God, it's really nice to meet you. So you've got everything here. It's you obviously love your gardening. I had no idea.
Definitely, yes. And I don't do it, I do it all myself, but well, just a little help from maybe Ben, our
Yeah.
head gardener
Okay.
at Mona. He's actually pretty amazing. We poached him from the government house.
Oh, well done. From the botanical gardens.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's why it's so beautiful and neat.
Well,
Well,
from
you've got
their
some tips.
gardens, the government house gardens.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Very
yeah, the
nice.
standard is good.
It is very good. Well, I've got a massive garden at home and I take a lot of pride in it. But I tell you what, this is amazing. It's absolutely pristine. I'd love to
Yes.
just settle in here for the day and
It's all the seaweed juice. It's just
That's the
really-
secret?
I think so, yeah.
seaweed juice. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. Would you be able to show me around your garden?
Sure.
Cool.
Take a look.
Take a look.
Have
All right.
all this-
So
my
what?
favorite vegetable of all is red-veined silver beet,
Yep. Beautiful.
red chard as I like to call it,
Yeah.
being American. So that's what I eat the most of, but I like all of the silver beets.
Yep.
And then my other favorite vegetable is Tuscan kale,
Yep.
caballo nero, which are these
This is-
dinosaur kale.
Okay. I was
Yes.
wondering when I came, I thought it looks like kale, but I wasn't actually 100% sure. But
It is kale.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
They do like to grow up into trees, but I don't mind, and I just love them. I love to eat it
yeah.
raw with lemon juice and truffle oil and tamari.
Truffle oil. So you're a truffle oil fan.
Yes, I am. I love it. That was on my first stockpile list for coronavirus.
Aha. Yeah.
Passata and truffle oil.
You and many others. Yeah. You've had a bit of truffle in your time then?
Definitely. And
you
I
had
love
my
the
truffles?
Tasmanian truffle, maybe.
I think you have.
think
I've
I
definitely
have.
supplied the restaurant with truffles before.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I love it. I can't believe how delicious it is.
We could do a trade. I could get some of your beautiful produce.
Sure,
For
you
some
can
truffle.
have one cabbage for 3 truffles.
That's a pretty hard
these
deal.
are precious. Do you know how hard it is to grow
I
these?
do actually, because I've got a pretty amazing garden at home myself. I'm growing the purple cabbages as well.
Look at that one right there. That is a gem.
That is, it's looking dense. Oh my God. So,
Are you
Kirsha,
wondering why there's a brazier in my garden?
look, it crossed my mind.
Yeah, I told Benny.
I wasn't
take them
sure
out now. It was for the cabbage moths.
I
I was
wasn't-
really worried about the cabbage moths, and I know you can create a decoy. You know.
So the bra is a decoy for
It's
cabbage
a
moths.
It's a giant cabbage moth decoy. You see the black spots painted on the
The black spots,
nipple
the
area.
nipples. How's it work so
That's
far?
a giant cabbage moth. Do
And
you
that-
think they dared lay eggs in my
Well, that's what
garden?
that's my
No.
question. They haven't.
No.
That's okay. I'll keep that in mind. I'll
And there's another good use for a cabbage moth caterpillar. If they do lay eggs, if you don't get on the braziers early enough and they get in there, then you should harvest the caterpillar, dry them, and grind them with chili and salt and make sal de gusano, which the Mexicans put on their margaritas.
Oh my God.
They use the maguey worm, which is a caterpillar, from the tequila plant, but the caterpillar of a cabbage is just as good.
I had no idea. So you've written a book on on this? Is like Eat the Problem?
Well, on
is
Eat
that?
the Problem, which is about invasive species, so they're not invasive, but they're certainly a pest.
Yeah.
So you can apply Eat the Problem to pests as well. Anything that there's an overabundance of, you turn into an asset,
Oh
a
my
resource.
God. It's such a good idea. What sort of examples can you give of eating the problem here in Tassie?
Well, you know, I did a bit of hunting around this site. We had some rabbits. There were a lot of rabbits.
Rabbits?
Yes,
Yeah.
and they are not native,
No, they're not.
and they are extremely abundant. So, from my perspective, that's a sustainable form of meat.
Absolutely.
You can have as much as you want. You can indulge. You can really satisfy the carnivore in you, which I'm not even a carnivore, but if I were, I would be eating the rabbit 24/7. And I did eat it. I cooked them and
You
I
did?
ate them. I hunted them.
You hunted them
Around.
here
Yeah.
on these lawns.
That's right.
Oh, geez. Well, at least the veggies are safe as well. It's a bonus.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I used to eat rabbit stew with my dad. We'd go and get a couple of rabbits and cook them up every Saturday. It was
Do you
just
like
our
to
thing.
skin them?
Yeah, I can do all that. I grew up on a farm, so.
It is completely incredible, isn't it, how that skin just comes off.
Yeah, yep.
Mind-bending.
I'm not sure if our 4 p.m. viewers are going to be wanting to know about the flesh coming off of skin.
If they eat cow, then they might want to consider, you know, it's a lot easier to deal with a tiny animal.
Well, that's true. That's
If you
true,
eat
and that's the
cow,
reality of
then,
it.
You know, rabbits definitely, like, really, it's a starter meat. You got to be tough and strong, and you have to really have some kind of conviction to be able to eat a cow. If you can do that, you can definitely eat a rabbit.
You can eat a rabbit for sure. Actually, I heard an interesting fact about rabbits is nutritionally, they're really, really quite poor. So back in the day, I know the English used to eat a lot, especially when I think they were traveling over here, or they started out here and the rabbit population boomed. There's a lot of malnutrition because rabbits actually don't have a lot of...
That's right. They're
knew
low,
this.
they don't have fat. They don't have enough fat for one thing, so a lot of people cook them with bacon.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, as we've proven, you can also live really well on just vegetables, basically.
Absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
legumes, so it's not like, it's only going to add another layer of nutrition to the diet, really.
Yeah, sure.
But you don't want to only eat rabbits.
No, need a
But you
variety
can
in your
make
diet.
glue out of them too.
Glue
That's
out of
right.
rabbits?
Yes. You boil them and boil them and boil them, and it's called rabbit skin glue.
Really?
Yes, and it makes an incredible glue. You can use it architecturally to fuse wood. You can make furniture out of it. Violins, like it's an old glue. It's how people used to make glue.
Oh my God.
They would travel around and gather all of the carcasses and boil down those skins to make rabbit glue.
Incredible. And I thought I was coming here to talk about community gardening, and we're talking about rabbit glue.
We're just talking about sustainable eating and sustainable living in general, which does all come back to the land.
Yeah,
Garden.
absolutely. So Kirsha, you're going to have to hold up your end of the bargain. If I'm going to bring some truffles, I'd love to take some veggies home with me.
Absolutely, you can. I don't know how much you can have because it's my favorite.
It's your favourite.
You can have some of the red
Truffles are
veined-
my favourite, so.
Okay, the red veined chard.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, well, we'll see what you prepare.
Yeah, that'll be great. Thanks again.
Taco Tuesday today, which means we're making tacos, and I'm making a grilled chicken and fennel taco. Any combination that you think is going to go well in a taco probably is. I'll give you some tips on how you can make all those things work in a taco, but let's get into it first. So I've got my chicken tenders, got my fajita mix. So pop my tenders into a bowl with my fajita mix, and also a little bit of lime juice. And that'll act as our marinade for our, probably, because I've only got half the chicken tenders that you'd probably normally do. We've got 6 in there. Probably only need half of that spice mix. Some lime, probably half a lime. And with that spice mix, you've got all of your flavours in there. Mix that together, and it's all going to stick to the chicken, which is what you want. A bit more. So it's really important to add that lime juice when you add that sachet, that Alto Paso fajita mix. Make sure you add a little bit of lime juice. You can just add water if you want to, but give it a little bit of extra flavor with that lime juice. And you get a really good coating of all the spices, so as you can see. And then that just has to go straight into a fry pan. Cook it up and we've got our grilled chicken. So that's really simple and that bit's done. Now, the one thing or the little tip that I can give you is make sure you have a mayonnaise, an avocado mousse, a sour cream or something like that that will hold everything together. A sauce, and not a wet sauce, you want a thick sauce, is really important when making a taco. So I'm having mine with capsicum and fennel. So capsicum cheek and just thinly slice that. And then I'm going to shave some fennel to go with it. Now if I just put the chicken and the capsicum and the fennel into the taco, it'd be fine, but it's not going to hold together. It's not going to do what I want it to do inside the taco and become a combination of all of those flavors. By adding just a little bit of sour cream, something as simple as that, we're going to end up with something that will hold together and we'll get the combination of flavors, which is what I want, that fennel, that capsicum and that chicken. We get that combination of flavors to hold together. So I just want to shave this finely. And it's really important when working with fennel like this, if you're going to have it raw, try and get it as fine as you possibly can. So really fine slices of fennel is important for this. Fennel can be quite tough, so I've got some really fine slices of fennel there. All right, so my capsicum and my fennel are done. It's time for cooking my chicken. So a little bit of oil into a pan. You could dress that little salad if you wanted to. In fact, I'm going to. So a little bit of olive oil. I've still got that lime left over, so I can use that. A little bit of lime juice. Good pinch of salt. Stuff together. So now that salad's nice and dressed. Again, just adding another layer of flavour to the dish. And then I'm just going to finish it with some coriander. So we'll get our chicken in, get some tongs. Don't overcrowd your pan. So probably 3 at a time we can get in there. We want to get some colour on this chicken. And then I can get my tortillas ready. Now I don't have a microwave, so I'm just going to wrap them in some foil, put them into the oven, get them nice and warm and ready for when our chicken comes off. My chicken is being cooked. I did that in two waves, 3 tenders per wave. That's given me long enough to heat my tortillas so they can come out. So they're nice and pliable now. All right, time to build them. So the tortilla goes down first. You'll need the sour cream to stick everything together. So a little bit of that on. Spread that out. Then your salad on top of that. And that sour cream is going to stick all your salad in place and keep all those flavours together. Then my chicken. We're going to get away with 2 tenders per taco, and coriander to finish. So I'm just going to roughly chop this and sprinkle that on top. And for this episode of Taco Tuesday, they're our tacos. They're healthy, one, they're quick, and they're really, really tasty. That sour cream with the spices, that mixture of hot and cold, it's what a lot of tacos in Mexico are actually like. They come straight off, the tortillas come straight off the pan, so they've got a big flat grill, which they're warming the tortillas on. You've got that hot chicken with a cold salad, and then some sour cream or crema to tie it all together. So it's a great recipe for our old El Paso Taco Tuesday. Give it a try at home. That combination of fennel, chicken, and capsicum is something that I love, but if you wanted to change that, you absolutely can. Keep the chicken the way it is, keep the sour cream the way it is. Just think of other salad components that you could put with it. Chicken, corn, and avocado would be great. See what you can come up with.